Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Isabella Awan, and you're watching Adulting with Bella. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You're the real MVP. And if this is the first time of you watching any of my videos, or you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please, I want you to take out 3 seconds to click on the red subscribe button. Thereafter, hit on the notification bell so that you be amongst the first to get notification of my videos whenever I drop them. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video so that I can get all the tractions I need from YouTube as a new YouTuber. That being said and done, let's dive right into the topic today. The topic for today's video is Introduction to Personal Finance. This video is actually part and the first video in a series which I have decided to put together on my YouTube called the Personal Finance Series 101. I did a random search of personal finance videos on YouTube, and one thing stood out for me. Most of the videos were good videos, contents were great, but most of the videos were made by YouTubers that are staying in more developed societies. They are staying in societies where their personal finance, the financial world, their corporate world, everything seems organized and planned out for them. So you are exposed to a lot of information. You know a lot of things exist in those societies. Unlike in Nigeria, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Africa as a whole, most of the things are done in informal settings, and you don't get a lot of information about those things that exist. So I decided to put up this series to talk about things that are peculiar to our African society using the Nigerian context. But I'm going to put a disclaimer out there that this vlog does not serve as a financial advice. If you need financial advice on personal finance, I would advise that you get the services of a professional personal finance advisor, or you do more research on your own in addition to the information you get on this vlog. The first concept we would be talking about today is income. I decided to put income first because it will determine every other thing. You cannot be creating budgets on your father's income. You cannot be planning to be spending your boyfriend or your girlfriend's money. You cannot be planning to invest your siblings' money. So before you can talk about any other concept of personal finance, the first thing you need to think about is income. You need to be earning money. Now, in terms of income, there are about 3 different sources of income. The first one is the salary and wages. I decided to mix this together because in Nigeria, there is really no clear, distinct difference between salary and wages. Now, salary most times are money being paid to you at the end of a period, usually 1 month, for remaining in active service for a person or a company. The second type of income I would like to talk about is the trading income, aka in Nigeria it is called your side hustle. So this is salary, this is money you earn from offering services or selling things. Most times side hustles in Nigeria, especially cities like Lagos, are being done either in the night, so more like a night shift, or it is done during the weekends. The final type of income, which you might not consider as an income, is the bonuses, allowances, and gifts. Yes, they are part of your income. And I strongly recommend that you also have plan for this. Yes, you cannot really tell when they would come in and how much it would be. But whenever you have this form of income, I would advise that you sit down and plan what you do with the money. The second concept I would like to talk about is budgeting. Budget is a plan on incomes and expenditure of your money. So it is a plan that explains how your money would come in and how your money would be spent. I usually have 2 advices when it comes to budgeting. One, your overall budget should be an annual budget. I don't try to do budgets for 5 years. I feel like that is too strenuous and the uncertainty is just too much for you to be budgeting 5 years ahead. So most times my budget is in a year, and that yearly budget that is an overarching budget is being broken down into monthly budget. And sometimes I even break down my monthly budget into weekly budget. For example, my annual budget should be, for example, the things I decide to spend on housing, because in Nigeria we pay for our house annually. Things like income, expense, some form of expenditures like utility bills goes into monthly budget, while things like miscellaneous expenses, feeding, transportation, that goes into my weekly budget. That most times your budget numbers don't have to be exact. You could use percentages for your numbers if you don't know the exact amount. You could use rounded figures. So most times I set a cap for my budget. So savings is the next concept in personal finance that I would like to talk about. And I feel like it is one of the most controversial concepts in personal finance because you always hear a lot of opinions about how much should go into savings. Sometimes you hear people say, I don't earn enough to save. But one thing I would like to put out on savings is that savings is not what is left for you after expenditure. You need to be conscious with savings. You need to be deliberate with savings in order to meet your target. So savings is actually what you take out from your income before you even determine what is left for you to spend. There are basically like three types of savings. The first one I would call the general savings. I just feel like you must always, this general savings is like money you might likely spend in the next 5 years. Like this is money you just keep because you want to keep money. Like it is just rational to keep saving because now the second type of savings I would want to talk about here is the one I call specific savings. Now specific savings is money you set aside to do a particular thing. So this money has a subhead already. Just that it is not complete yet for you to execute what you want to execute, use it for. So you are actually saving it up so that once it gets to the amount you want, you can use it to do what you want to do. Let me give you an example of specific savings. Savings for your house rent. People could be saving to school abroad to fund their studies abroad. People could be saving for to buy a car, to buy a house, to I even know people who save for their birthday. They legit like dedicate 6 months of savings to celebrate a birthday. I know people who save so that they can go on a particular trip on vacations and all of that. Now the final kind of saving is called the emergency funds. This particular savings is only touched when something you did not expect happens. For example, someone falls, you or someone falls ill or unforeseen circumstances. You actually need emergency funds for that. I feel like people are a bit spiritual about this emergency fund because they feel like if you have emergency fund, something bad will definitely happen for you to spend that money on it. But it's necessarily not so. Sometimes at the end of the month or at the end of some period, you could move your emergency fund into some other buckets like investment. So at the end of the day, your emergency fund actually could be reclassified to as investment or any other thing. Closely linked to the last type of savings is what we call the insurance. That is the next concept I would like to talk about in this video. Insurance is something we really don't talk about a lot in Nigeria, and I'm sure it is also almost the same thing in sub-Saharan Africa. People do insurance most times when it is compulsory. If you tell people that it is mandatory, they might likely not do it. But if you make it compulsory, that is when you will see most Nigerians doing insurance. For example, a lot of Nigerians have car insurance because they know that once the police stops you on the road, one of the things they might likely ask for vehicle inspection might be your vehicle insurance. So you get to see people do insurance for vehicle. A very important step of insurance that I feel like every Nigerian should consider is your life assurance policy. Another kind of insurance that I feel like Nigerians should also consider a lot, like they should pay close attention to it, is medical insurance. Now, medical insurance is fairly common in Nigeria because most companies makes it important, like makes it compulsory for their staff to have an HMO. If not, individually, very few people actually goes in to get medical insurance. Investment is a very important aspect of personal finance. The most interesting form of investment you will see out there today is crypto. Crypto is really risky, but people are passionate from it. So you see crypto, you see FX, that's foreign exchange trading. So trading the dollars and the pounds and the currencies that are a bit more stable. We also see government bonds. This is like one of the safest investments you could do because the uncertainty is very low. The uncertainty of getting back your money is very low, and at the same time, the returns from it is very low. So another kind of investment that is safe is stocks. You can also apply the services of mutual funds to help you manage your portfolio of stocks, and all these options are actually available. And I will dedicate a video to investment sometime later in the future. I will concepts before I go. The second to the last concept I will talk about today is debt. I feel like debt is not spoken about a lot in Nigeria because most of the debt facilities available to individuals are in informal settings. The few formal ones we have are the microfinance banks and just a few. So many people don't even know that they have the ability to borrow certain amount of money based on their transactions and things like that. So that is something you should actually talk about in personal finance because people have two problems when it comes to debt. The first one is the reason why they even borrow. Debt in Nigeria is really informal. So you see people borrowing from their friends, from their family members, from their colleagues. But we have a couple of microfinance banks, we have a couple of fintechs coming up to provide debt for most of the fintechs. I feel like most of their debt is actually to SMEs, small and medium scale enterprises, not for individuals to actually do things. But I'm sure I know very well that there are a couple of like individual debts that you can get. You also get to see people borrowing from their workplaces. Yeah, that's another very common thing. You see people getting housing loans, car loans, some upfront to do one thing or the other. The last but not the least concept I would like to talk about is retirement. I feel like apart from the fact that pension is made mandatory in corporate organization, in formal settings, Nigerians should naturally not set up money for their retirement. I feel like you should be able to have money somewhere that can help you when you are no longer able to do certain things, like you're not actively working anymore. There should be money to be able to take care of you. Guess what is our retirement benefits plan in Nigeria and some African countries? Our children. Yes, most elderly people believe that the best retirement plan they could have is investing in their children, and when their children grows up, come and take care of them. That's a great concept in Africa that I would like to talk about, and it is a bit related to this whole black tax concept. But yeah, retirement is actually something you need to talk about. You need to consider who is your PFA, who is your pension fund administrator. Consider the percentage you get on it. Try to do your own math yourself. Try to work out something that works, that will put you in a better position. Some of us know that okay, we get alerts from a particular PFA and we see our balance. We really don't even pay attention to those balances. So I want to like challenge you today. Start paying attention to your pension contributions. Start paying attention to how much interest you get on it. Try to understand the beauty of compounding interest. Um, as a postscript, which you might already know, the beauty of retirement plan is that you cannot gain access to this money until you are about 50 in Nigeria, or you must have retired from active service. So those are like the two times you can actually gain access to your pension funds in Nigeria. You could actually also convert your pension funds to something they call annuity. We will talk about that in a video that I will dedicate to retirement benefit plans. As a summary, dedicate time to learning about personal finance. You can learn about personal finance through different channels. For example, watching YouTube videos like this, or you could learn about personal finance through reading books. You could learn about personal finance through getting a personal finance advisor. The services of a personal finance advisor would really help you too. You could learn about personal finance by just googling things or reading books. There are different ways to learn about personal finance. Discuss personal finance with friends, mentors. Try to get people perspective to build on your own perspective. Note, however, that what works for A might not work for B because the the responsibilities and the incomes and the expectations from both of you might actually be different. So what works for A might necessarily not work for B. But when you understand what A is doing, you understand that there is a possibility for a certain option. You then need to gather these different options, get the services of an expert, or do the evaluation yourself and decide which one works for you. Till I see you next time on the Personal Finance 101 series with Bella. Bye.